Good morning, good evening. Today we have our student, Dr. Darshi Desai, who had some kind of a record with 51 interviews in internal medicine. So we wanted to sit down with her and see how she managed it. So welcome, Darshi. Glad to have you here.
Hi, thank you so much.
So, before we get into your record-breaking achievement, let's talk a bit about your journey. Give us a brief idea about your USMLE journey.
Yes. So hi, everyone. My name is Arshi. I actually am a fresh graduate from India. I graduated in 2020. I finished my internship in 2020, and I wanted to pursue my residency in the US. That was my dream since the day one of my medical school, and I've worked towards that dream ever since I stepped into my medical school, I would say. Eventually ended up getting high scores and uh, enrolling with Sarthi and getting an excellent support system and guidance at every step. And I matched into internal medicine at my first choice, which is University of California, Riverside School of Medicine. And I'm excited to start this new journey.
Thank you. And so everyone would want to know this, what were the key factors, whether it was course, research, combination of what 4, 5 or more factors that led you to have 50 plus interviews?
Yes. I think the first and the most important thing was my scores, of course, but not just scores. I also tried to finish my step 3. Being a fresh graduate and also getting done with step 3 in that limited duration of time was very challenging. It was very hard, honestly. I also thought of giving up multiple times through the process, but I think just trying to push through it and getting done with it before the application deadline, that is, I got done with it before September 15th, was something that really helped me, because the programs could have access to my score while they were assessing and my application, and they were sending invites to all the applicants. So that really helped me. Apart from my scores, I think what really helped me was not leaving any section on my CV empty, and filling every section with meaningful experiences, be it my US clinical experience. That was something that really stood out, because I went there during COVID. My rotations as a medical student were suspended, so I did not get a chance to pursue electives. However, as soon as the travel ban was lifted, I tried to travel to the US and grab every opportunity that came my way, be it a rotation in a private clinic or a rotation in a community hospital. I just wanted to start working and gaining clinical experience and not sit idle. That was also something that really helped me. In the end, I was able to apply with 7 months of US clinical experience. So that was something that helped me. And obviously, in the process, I also earned some good letters of recommendation. So, and specialty specific, for that is internal medicine specific letters of recommendation, was also something that really helped me. Apart from US clinical experience, I also got some research experience. I had a chance to learn and work with Sarthi, and also got some publications out of it. So that was something that helped me too. And yeah, I think the most important part was to just go all in. Just don't leave anything empty on the application. That could be a red flag. Just try to fill everything with meaningful experiences. And that was something that really helped me. That's what I feel.
Okay. So just to summarize, obviously recent graduation helps, obviously high scores help, but even beyond that, even if you could not do electives, any kind of USCE, as much as you can do specialty specific, that helps, and then the research. So these things help you. Now, let's talk a bit more about your research, because you managed to publish in very high impact journals and all that. So talk a bit more about what this research was, where it was published, and how did it help in the interviews and otherwise?
I had a chance to work on 2 original research studies when I was a medical student, but that was a different experience. When it came to professional lives and applying to the US, applying in a proper residency program in the US, I was still a newbie in the field of research. I did not know a lot about it. So I enrolled with the Sarthi research course. And as a part of the process, I got to learn about research. I learned about hypothesis generation, about manuscript writing, data extraction, analysis, everything. And in the end, we were able to create 2 manuscripts out of the experience. And uh, eventually, we ended up publishing, submitting those abstracts at the American Heart Association's annual scientific sessions 2021. I was the first author for one of those abstracts, and both of our abstracts got accepted for poster presentations. And I presented one of those abstracts over there, and it eventually got published in an AHA journal. So it was a very, very meaningful research experience as well as a publication. And I was asked about this particular experience and these publications in all of my interviews. And it really shined out on my CV. Not just that, but because I worked through it and I knew it step by step. I worked with the entire team. I knew everybody's contributions and how all of us just tried to manage to create a very good manuscript in the end. I was very confident when I answered questions related to these research papers in my interviews. And that conviction and that confidence was also something that really made the interviewers trust and believe, and that really helped me eventually, even during interviews.
Okay, thank you, Darshi. Now let's talk about, in general, the Sarthi Telegram group and other support you received. How did you leverage that during your season?
Yes, I enrolled with Sarthi last year when the prior season had just ended, and it was time for us to start preparing dedicatedly towards our applications. I was done with my rotations by that time. However, still we were in the middle of a pandemic, and it was really hard. I was broken, underconfident, and I was not very sure if I'll still be able to pull through and submit a complete application. That's when Sarthi really played a big role in my journey. I remember speaking with you, Pawan, regularly, texting you, putting questions on the group. Even if that is a silly question, I still tried to ask whatever came in my mind, and that's how I learned through the process. Every panelist, every advice from the panelists was really valuable, and I just tried to implement on all those advices, not just directed towards me, but to all the other applicants as well who put their questions on the group. Trying to read through every advice and trying to implement those in the application in the end was also something that helped. Of course, classes related to CV writing, about personal statements, their reviews, everything was really helpful. I remember Dr. Desai was my mentor, and he also helped me through my personal statement and CV, which was really, really helpful in the end. So I think the entire experience of being able to openly ask any query on the group, and also being able to have access to all the other queries as well, because that's how you learn, even if that question doesn't cross your mind at that time. Scrolling through the group was something that I did very, very often, and it taught me a lot. So that entire experience was really, really helpful in the entire journey.
So now, as we kind of summarize your experiences and tips for the applicants in the coming season, what would be your top few tips on what they should do, regardless of their profile? There are things they can control, there are things they may not be able to control. So what would be the top things you would recommend? And possibly, if anything you learned from your journey that you would want to avoid. So what are the things applicants should do, and things that you have learned that maybe didn't work or you would want to avoid?
The first thing that I would tell all the future applicants would be to just go all in, because this is a one-time shot. And it's just really important to fill your application with meaningful experiences. The interviewers are very smart. They understand jargon. They understand if an experience is really meaningful or not. So that is something that is important. Apart from that, I think research is now gaining importance. Now that the entire match process is becoming very, very competitive, every applicant has a certain number of publications, be it case reports, being original studies, etc. But every applicant now applies with a certain number of research papers and publications, even experiences. So now research is really gaining importance, and to have a background in research, even if that's just with case reports, is really important. Even the community hospitals, community programs now expect you to know about research. So research is also something that the applicants should definitely work on. Apart from that, a very organized strategy is needed in order to fetch the number of interviews that I think I received. I think sending letter of interest at the right time, sending multiple letters of interest, sending letter of intents, pre-interview communication, post-interview communication in a certain duration of time after the interview, everything, right from submitting your application till the last, submitting your rank order list, all those days, all those things are really important. And having a very organized strategy and managing time well is also something that really helps throughout the process. And in the end, I would just say that practice on your interviews. Really, I remember practicing with fellow Sarthi students, I would say, who became very good friends in the end too. We used to discuss about our rank order list, and we had valuable advices to give each other too. So practicing interviews and just giving mock interviews, learning from all the advices given by the panelists during the mocks, and implementing on all those things was also something that helped me. And I would also suggest practicing to all the future applicants as well.
Well, thank you very much, Darshi. This was a wonderful achievement, and good luck for your residency.
Thank you so much, Pawan. It was really nice speaking with you. Thank you.